Welcome
I'm
back.
playing with Chief Keef.
Okay, so I need to throw this away actually. We're gonna be talking about. Oh, by the way, my friend's here. His name is Rylez.
You in your
His actual
bathroom.
name. Yeah.
You.
Talking about picks 11 through 20, and I have who I'm gonna. If I were the team, who would I draft? So I have the New York Giants, pick 11, taking Micah Parsons, 6'3", 244. I think he is a perfect fit for Patrick Graham's defense. I think they have Blake Martinez right now, but I think they could take Jalen Waddle here if they wanted to. But the only reason I don't have them taking Jalen Waddle is because they just signed Kenny Golladay. So I have Micah Parsons as the 6th best prospect rank out of all the prospects. I think they could draft Rashawn Slater, but I think Micah Parsons, he ran a 4.38. I mean, yes, he may have some off-the-field issues, and he doesn't have tape from last year, but I think he fits in with the Giants, and I think he could honestly be the Defensive Rookie of the Year. Either that or Surtain at the top 2. What do you think about that? Huh?
Surtain winning DPI? Or no?
I could definitely see Micah Parsons or what's his name? Surtain winning Defensive Player of the Year.
I don't know what Surtain. Cornerback is very hard to,
That's true.
have your first year in the NFL for.
I would say either Micah
Okudah.
Parsons or like maybe a defensive rusher, like an edge, maybe someone like Kwity Paye or Gregory Rousseau, maybe.
Not Rousseau, unless we draft him.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like Jalen Phillips is a safer pick than Rousseau right now because Rousseau only has 1 year of tape, and I mean, he was supposed to be he still had a really good pro day, but I thought he was gonna have a way better pro day. You see Jason Away from Penn State, his pro day. He is 6'5", 257, and guess what his 40-yard dash was? 6'5", 260.
I don't know. I think everyone ran a 4.4, so.
4.35. This guy is 6'5", and 260.
Those are my
in college, I don't think he really had a great year last year. But if we're talking about physical freaks, I think he is the #1 in the class, next to Kyle Pitts. Who is Kyle Pitts? Is amazing. He's like Megatron.
Kyle Pitts.
He's my number.
Weapon.
Yeah, he is my number 2 on all the prospects behind Trevor Lawrence. So the Giants take Micah Parsons. I think it's a pretty safe pick. I mean, you get your linebacker of the future. Normally, off-ball linebackers don't go that high, but I really do think he could be really and will be a really good player in the future.
Yeah, this is one of the best draft classes I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So
the offensive line in this draft is really, really good.
Yeah, really good.
I could
Last
see.
year's was pretty good, but
this year, I could see maybe. Let's see. Let me think. I could see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I could see 6 offensive linemen taken in the first round.
Yeah.
To be honest. But yeah, there's like Kendrick Green from Illinois. There's so many NDSU guy. I mean, they got There's so many good.
I
It's a deep offensive lineman.
If a quarterback, if it goes quarterback.
Oh yeah, that's what I talked about in the first one. I have Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson. I have the 49ers taking Trey Lance. Reason why I'm putting Mac Jones and Trey Lance above Justin Fields
for Mac Jones above him.
Oh, not prospect wise, but who I think is gonna go number 3. The reason why I don't think the 49ers are gonna take Justin Fields is because both Mac Jones, Trey Lance both had their pro days before Ohio State, and when the 49ers traded up, Ohio State hadn't had their pro day yet. And I also think, you look at Ohio State history, they haven't been able to read the quarterbacks or read the defense that well, go through progressions. And then Dan Orlovsky on Good Morning Football a couple days ago says he's got like news of what GM said, that his worth ethic, Justin Fields said to be the first one or the last one in and the first one out or something like that.
Oh.
So I would still put Justin Fields as prospect number 2. He's got really good upside. It's been Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields since high school, but I had Justin Fields going to the Panthers. I definitely think Justin Fields could slide. I don't think he goes past number 9 though. Even if
I have him above Mac.
Yeah, my top quarterbacks are, I have so Trevor Lawrence 1, Zach Wilson 2, Justin Fields 3, Trey Lance 3. 4. You have Trey Lance over
Trey Lance 3. Yeah.
Over Justin Fields?
Yep.
I could see that. I think Trey Lance honestly could potentially have the highest ceiling in the draft. But then I got Mac Jones. I think day 1 starter though, Mac Jones is probably the safest pick other than Trevor Lawrence. Because I think he's ready to go.
I don't think he's going to be rookie of the year though.
What?
Because look at the Jaguars.
Oh, Trevor Lawrence?
Yeah. Look at the Jaguars.
No. But I'm saying, like, if I'm picking...
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I don't see Trevor Lawrence being... I wouldn't be surprised if he's not rookie of the year.
Yeah, Jaguars have a lot of holes to fill. Yeah.
They're a one-season wonder. And I was fanboying
2016 or something like that? Yeah, when Ramsey was there.
Yeah. And
okay.
Blake Bortles was there.
Blake Bortles. That guy.
Blake Bortles, baby.
He's terrible. He is next to garbage.
He is pretty bad.
He is pretty bad. So, pick 12. I have Jalen Waddle, 5'10", 182.
Wait, who's 12th pick?
Jalen Waddle, Eagles.
Oh, Eagles. Okay, yeah.
Eagles had the 6th pick. They traded out of the top 10, and they're still going to get probably the player they would have drafted, in my opinion. So I have Jalen Waddle, 2nd best receiver in the draft. I don't think he's ran a 40 yet, but I would assume he's going to run 4.2 something easily. They're still getting one of the top 3 receivers in the draft while trading back, and they get some extra draft capital. He is immediately going to be the number 1 receiver in Philadelphia. I know they have Rager. Who else do they have? Let's just say Philadelphia has a lot of issues. Oh yeah, JJ Garcia-Whiteside. Something with the Eagles. They need to fire the person who drafts for them, because they took Jalen Rager over Justin Jefferson. Biggest mistake in the past decade on their team, easily. And they also took JJ Arcega-Whiteside over DK Metcalf, which, yeah, we all know how that ended.
Yeah, I mean, don't even need to discuss that.
But they can't go wrong with number 12 pick in Jalen Waddle. I think honestly, Smith and Waddle are better than last year's Alabama receivers in Judy and Ruggs. I think Waddle's going to run faster than Ruggs. I think he's a more established route runner than Ruggs. I think Devonta Smith is by far, not by far, but I think he is the best route runner in the draft. And when it comes to getting separation, you saw it last year and with Justin Jefferson getting open. If you can get open like that, it's changes the game. And I have Justin Jefferson, like, I want to say the least, or God, what am I trying to say? I think Justin Jefferson is a top 3 route runner. I say at least he's a top 5. I go Davante Adams, Stephon Diggs, Justin Jefferson. I think if you're a good route runner, you can really succeed. And I think those Alabama receivers in Waddle and Smith are a better tandem than last year's receivers in Judy and Ruggs. But yeah, you see it on tape. Waddle, before going down with was it an ankle injury?
Yeah.
I think
he was waddling in the championship.
Yeah, in the literally. Waddling in the championship. Still looking fast.
He was still very fast.
Yeah, he was still probably the fastest on the field. He can offer what Tyreek Hill does for the Chiefs, just a deep threat, straight line speed receiver, really fast. But I think that's a great pickup for the Eagles, even though they have everything going wrong there. I think they do start Jalen Hurts this season.
Hold on. You said everything going wrong there? Have you seen the Detroit Lions and Texans? Especially Texans?
Okay, Texans. But I think Detroit Lions is not as bad. They got a new head coach, Dan Campbell, who is They do suck, and they will suck probably.
For a while.
And
Jared Goff isn't it.
But I do think Dan Campbell will be the best head coach they've had in a long time. He is not necessarily an offensive guru or defensive-minded coach. He's a culture builder. In his first press conference, he said, "We're going to bite off your kneecaps." So I think that really says something when you're looking at someone like Dan Campbell. I think he was a tight end in the league for the Lions and the Dolphins. And then he was a coach for the Saints. I think that's a good hire. But moving on to...
Oh, by the way, I have Jalen Waddle as my #1 wide receiver.
Oh, on your board thing? Nice.
Yeah, I don't think he's getting drafted before Jamar. Maybe before Devontae. I don't know yet. But I have Jalen Waddle as my #1 wide receiver.
Yeah, I think you can't go wrong with the top 3 receivers. Those top 3.
Yeah.
I also think that the Vikings, if one of those receivers are there, I think you got to consider it. It's
not going to happen.
It won't happen.
Yeah.
But, like, first, let's say Micah Parsons or a Kyle Pitts somehow falls to 14, or a receiver, especially with Kyle Pitts, you got to consider it. You have to. Even though the offensive line, that left side, is very, very terrible, especially because we just resigned Dakota Dozier, which was probably the worst thing Spielman's ever done.
Wait, we did?
I think so.
Oh my God.
For another year.
Dozier sucks.
He's terrible. He was the worst.
He's the worst.
Rated.
He's the worst.
He's the worst.
Go ahead.
No, he's the worst.
Bro, he's the worst offensive lineman I've ever seen in my life.
I think he was rated.
I've only been around for 17 years, but he's the worst offensive lineman I've ever seen. Dakota Dozier.
Yeah, I think Dakota Dozier was whatever guard, left or right guard he played. He was the worst PFF rated guard out of every starter, so I think that really says something.
Yeah. You know what?
I think we got him for cheap, but
I don't care.
It doesn't matter.
That's too much money. Too much money.
I do think Bradbury, O'Neal, and Ezra Cleveland, those are our linemen of the future. I think we need to draft
100%.
At least 2 offensive linemen in the draft, which we have a lot of picks. I think the most in this year's draft out of any other team, which is good because this draft is really deep. Deep class for offensive linemen. And speaking of offensive linemen, the 13th pick, I have the Chargers taking offensive lineman Rashawn Slater out of Northwestern.
That's gonna hurt us. That's gonna hurt.
It's one pick before us, right?
Yeah,
it's tough.
100%. Why, bro?
But
God, Chargers, please.
I do think
now, do not pick Rashawn Slater. Okay?
I think Darrisaw and Slater are really similar. I have Slater slightly above Darrisaw, but I think if Darrisaw is there, he's a starting left tackle for the next 10 years, without question. But I do have the Chargers taking Rashawn Slater out of Northwestern, junior, 6'3", 305. I do think he can play tackle, guard, or center. I really do think so. I think he can play anywhere on the line. And honestly, if his arms were 2 inches longer, I really do think he would give Penei Sewell a run for his money of who's going to be the first draft pick or offensive lineman taken. But Penei Sewell, I think he's the Anthony Munoz of prospects. I think he's a locked left tackle. You put him in 10-15, he's your 10-15 year starter, Pro Bowl tackle for the future, which I had the Bengals taking, which is a good pick for them. But Rashawn Slater, yeah, they need a lineman. I could see them taking
Herbert, who's really good.
Yeah, Herbert is really good. He's 6'6". I could see them taking edge because I'm pretty sure they did just lose Melvin Ingram, who is one of their edge people, outside linebackers. So I could see them taking someone like Kwity Paye. But protecting your quarterback is, you saw it in the Super Bowl, Patrick Mahomes. You need your tackles. I mean, keep in mind, some of the receivers dropped the ball, but you need offensive linemen is almost more important than some skill positions, I would think. But yeah, Justin Herbert gets Rashawn Slater opposite to Brian Bulaga, I'm pretty sure, for the next several years, which is really good, as their offense is going to be really good next year. Eckler's back healthy. Pretty sure they still have Keenan Allen, Mike Williams. They do not have Hunter Henry, which the Patriots spent literally every single dollar in free agency. They picked up Hunter Henry and Jonnu Smith, and I really do think the Patriots, I'm going to say it wouldn't surprise me if the Patriots win their division this year. Even if the Bills are in it, it wouldn't surprise me. I'm not saying it would happen. I think there's a slim chance it does, but it wouldn't surprise me. Patriots get their defensive players back. Pretty sure McCourtney comes back. Hightower comes back. I think they had one more COVID player who opted out that comes back. But I think Cam Newton's going to do well year 2. So, pick 14 then. One pick before the Patriots, who we were just talking about. I have Christian Darrisaw going to the Vikings, who, unlike Rashawn Slater, who can play everywhere against the offensive line, I think Darrisaw is strictly a left tackle, which is perfect, which is what we need. Even though I think Ezra Cleveland could play tackle, which was his position coming out last year. The Vikings offensive line is good at run blocking. Pass blocking was a whole different story. I think they were rated bottom 5 of the league. But they were a top 5 run offense, I think. So getting their left tackle of the future, 6'5", 314, Virginia Tech. I really do think he's the 3rd best tackle and offensive lineman in the draft. I could see Elijah Vera Tucker going in this spot as well from USC.
I could see Rousseau too.
No.
I could.
Well, okay.
I really could.
I wouldn't like that.
I think Rousseau is a good athletic. He's athletic. Like, very athletic.
I don't think it's a need anymore, though. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but hold on now.
Mm-hmm.
Danielle Hunter is being a little prick. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if this is a PG-friendly podcast, but
no, it's not. Wait, no, you're fine.
He's being a little dick. Okay,
yep.
He wants more money, even though he's out the whole year.
Yep.
So Rousseau wouldn't be bad, and seen our defensive lineman coming out. We've been pretty good there. Now we're gonna get Michael Pierce back,
and we just signed Dalvin Tomlinson, who's another nose tackle. I'm pretty sure our combined defensive tackles weigh up to 300 or 700 pounds now between the two, which is pretty nice.
That's nice. A lot of Big Macs.
I do think we could go edge. I'm going to be completely honest. I think Kwity Paye is a better set-in-stone day one starter than Rousseau. I think Rousseau doesn't have as much tape as I would like. I don't think it's as big as a need now. I think we could take Rousseau. Ideally, I would like to trade back to acquire more draft capital, because I think 14 is a little high just for the sense that he didn't play last year. But I think getting an offensive lineman like Christian Darrisaw, who I've picked here, or I could see Elijah Vera-Tucker, who also played left tackle and guard. I do think he's a set guard, though, but I think if we do get Vera-Tucker from USC, I do think Ezra Cleveland, who was a left tackle from Boise State, second round last year, would go back to his main position at tackle, or you could put Brian O'Neill at left tackle. But I think strictly Elijah Vera-Tucker is a guard, and I think he is probably the #1 guard in the draft. You could say Wyatt Davis, I guess, but his injury, I don't know what injury he had, but he'll probably slip out of the first round. Wyatt Davis will, and into the later rounds because of that. But I think Darrisaw is a good set-in-stone day one starter. It's not a sexy pick, but it's the right pick for the. It's not a sexy pick, offensive lineman, or skill position. But I think it's the right pick. And then Patriots, I have them picking Kwity Paye from Michigan, senior, 6'4", 272. He is one of the top edge rushers. I would say the top edge rusher in the class. And out of the top 5 edge rushers, he's not a speed rusher, per se, as the other top rushers are, like Jason Owe, Rousseau. He's more of a power rusher. I think he was like 6'3", or 6'4", at his pro day. I think he's an all-around day one starter. Bill Belichick loves his defense. With all the top quarterbacks off the board, the Patriots, I think, take the best player available for the defense, that is. He's a traditional defensive end. He's got really good explosiveness. And he's going to make an immediate impact for their pass rush. He's raw talent. But I do think, as we know, Bill Belichick, greatest coach of all time, non-negotiable. I think he's going to become into a really good player. Oh, I forgot. I was just sitting here on Madden screen. That's fine. It's a listen podcast, essentially. But I think, yeah, Kwity Paye, pretty safe pick here. Then I have Arizona Cardinals taking, I would say, the 3rd best corner in the draft. I would still say that Farley is either 1 or 2, even with the back injury. Question mark. But J.C. Horn, I have going to the Cardinals. And it's pretty good that J.C. Horn falls to them, as I think the 49ers would have taken him if they wouldn't have traded up for a good quarterback. He just had a really good pro day. 6'1", 205. He's an athletic freak. Since the Vikings got Patrick Peterson, they need a replacement at corner, so Jaycee Horn would fill vacant number 1 corner spot. I think the defensive coordinator is Van Joseph. Jaycee Horn he's like a press corner. He's a really good in man coverage, which is what I think the Cardinals need for their defense to take that one step further. Budda Baker is back, a year older, more experienced. They just got J.J. Watt. J.J. Watt with Chandler Jones is going to be pretty scary on whoever their tackles are playing against. I think Jaycee Horn, South Carolina, is a really good pick. 17, the Raiders, Las Vegas Raiders. They just lost, pretty sure, 4 of their starting offensive linemen, I think. So I have them taking a lineman, AVT, Elijah Vera Tucker, USC, junior, 6'4", 315. He plays a guard. He can play tackle. I don't think he will play tackle. I think he's a interior offensive lineman. Raiders just lost Trent Brown, did he go to the Patriots?
Yep.
He went to the Patriots. Yeah, Vegas, the Raiders.
Oh, Vegas, man. Oh my god. Bro,
yeah, they're in Vegas right now.
Offensive linemen from, up there. And now the Vegas line.
Dude, Raiders had a really good offensive line a couple years ago. They had Rodney Hudson, Kelsey Meshi or whatever. I don't know his name. He's on the Chiefs. They had Trent Brown. I mean, they had a really good offensive line group, and they just
they're
lost.
all gone.
I think Gruden doesn't know how to.
I don't know.
Build.
I think Gruden's lost.
He doesn't know how to build He doesn't know how to build a team. He's never really known how to build a team. He's a coach. He doesn't know how to draft well. As you can see, he took Ruggs, who, up to this point, I will say, has not panned out. I do think he'll have a better year too, in that offense, but I don't know. AVT is a safe pick. They need offensive linemen. Again, it's not a sexy pick. But it's a much needed pick for sure. AVT, his pro day was really, really good, because I think he compared to some of the strengths of Quentin Nelson at his combine, I'm pretty sure. And
Which Quentin Nelson, the best guard in NFL right now.
Oh yeah, without question. I mean, maybe Zach
Martin, you might, yeah. But I think
he's older.
Nelson hands down right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Colts have a really good group of linemen, and they got Carson Wentz. What are your thoughts on that?
Carson Wentz.
See, yeah. I think
he's definitely gonna have a better year.
I think he's gonna have a good year. I'm almost really confident he's gonna have a top 10 quarterback season. I think the situation.
I don't know about that one.
They just got T.Y. Hilton back, Michael Pittman Jr. I think they do draft a receiver or another. They do need a left tackle. The Colts do, actually, because they just lost.
This is a very deep receiver class, 100%.
It is.
It's not just Jalen Waddle and them.
Oh yeah, they have Bateman, Marshall. Florida, Tony. A bunch of people. But they just Anthony Costanzo just retired. Kind of unexpected retire their left tackle. So I do think they take a lineman or an edge, as Justin Houston, I think, retired. But enough about the Colts. They're later. Next pick, I have the Dolphins taking a running back. I think they take Najee Harris.
Now, who's the starter for Dolphins? The running back. Who's the starter? Because I don't know.
Is it Myles Gaskin?
I don't think I can name a Dolphins running back. I don't think I can.
I think it's Myles Gaskin, but he is not too special.
He's not a starter.
Well, he was last year.
Well, I know, but he's not a starter.
He is not. No, yeah. He is he's a good backup. That's about it. I have them taking Najee Harris. You could trade Travis Etienne from Clemson, but what I think put Najee Harris over Travis Etienne, at least for me, was that I did not know that Najee Harris was such a good pass catcher. His pro day, he almost looked more comfortable catching the ball than Devonta Smith, which says a lot. Devonta Smith's top 3 receiver in the class, Heisman Trophy winner. But I think, obviously, here, let me check. What's the size on, what's his name? Najee Harris. Najee Harris, 6'2", 230, power back, bunch of speed. I don't know what his 40 was, but I assume it was 4.5 or better. Just an absolute beast. I think he was #1 running back coming out of high school a couple years ago. He's just, yeah. There's nothing more to say. He's just a really good running back.
Facts.
And I do think if the top 4 picks weren't so quarterback dependent teams, I do think he would be higher in the draft. But having said that, I think the Dolphins, they get their running back of the future back with Tua, Alabama. What if the Dolphins with the 6th pick just take like Waddle and have like the Alabama trio?
I wouldn't, I would not.
I could see that happening, but I do think Ja'Marr Chase still falls to the Dolphins and they take him.
Like even though Jalen Waddle's #1 for me, anyways, I feel like Ja'Marr Chase is the safest pick, honestly.
Yeah. I thought Ja'Marr Chase was gonna run like a high 4.4s. He ran a 4.38. I was not expecting that, like, at all.
Yeah, I didn't keep up with a lot of that pro day stuff, to be honest.
But pick 19, my second favorite team in the league right now, the football team.
Washington, the football team. Yeah, that's mine too.
The football team. I have them taking. So here, I'm not gonna tell you who they're taking yet. I think they could take a wide receiver here. I definitely think if Mac Jones falls, they could take Mac Jones, even though they just got Fitzmagic for the football team. But I have them taking Caleb Farley.
And they have Heineke as well.
And they do have Heineke, who played a really good wild card game against the Bucs.
Against Tom Brady.
Against the GOAT.
They could have actually won the game.
They could have. Pick 19, football team. I have them taking Caleb Farley. Really could be corner 1 or 2, depending on who you ask. I think with this back question mark that's happening, I do think he slides. But what I said in the first podcast, I don't think he falls farther than 20. I really don't. I think he's too good of a corner to pass up. I really think some of these middle teams could even draft him because I really think he's a top 8 talent, to be honest, prospect wise in the draft. But
now, do you think if Farley doesn't drop, who's the runner up? Who do you think the football team will take? Because I don't think Farley's gonna last that long, even with the back injury. I don't care.
That's what I'm saying. I think honestly though, I think I think if Farley didn't have like his back thing, I think picks 9 and 10, Broncos and Cowboys, I think those are both corner picks. I think you pick and choose which one goes first, either Surtain or Farley. But yeah, I could see Farley not dropping. I could see Farley either dropping a little bit,
I don't see him dropping all the way to football team. I really don't.
Yep. But if Farley doesn't drop, I could see they obviously need another pass catcher. I think Rashad Bateman could be a great pick. I think Kadarius Toney could be a great pick, who just ran, I think he ran a 4.3 something. I think.
Now, do you think they could possibly trade away this pick? Because I feel like that those wide receivers might go early second round.
I think they either trade back, or I think they could take a lineman. I do think they trade back in this position, though. I think if their quarterback of the future, Mac Jones, is not there, I do think they trade back into the late first round and maybe draft a receiver or a lineman, maybe someone, Tevin Jenkins, Oklahoma State.
Somewhere besides defense, because I feel like they're really good at defense right now.
Yeah, Chase Young's a beast. They need a pass catcher, in my opinion. Next, the Bears. Rival of the Vikings. I have them taking. So I had Farley going to Washington. This is just like a mock draft thing, but I do have Bateman. Rashad Bateman from Minnesota.
Really?
Gophers. I have him going to the Bears. Stays in the Midwest with the redheaded monster in Andy Dalton.
Absolute beast.
Even though there's still rumors about Russell Wilson possibly going there, probably not going to happen.
I hope he doesn't.
No. I don't want any good quarterback going in the NFC North. Wilson. Yeah, that's going to be crazy.
And Jared Goff. I don't want him in.
Yeah, Jared Goff.
I don't want those three quarterbacks.
He's terrible. He never developed.
He's probably best mid.
Yeah.
Like average at best.
But the Bears need a receiver. I don't see Allen Robinson signing another long-term deal there after the season is over. I think they get a potential wide receiver one of the future. And Bateman, he is a all-around athletic freak, good size, 6'2", 210 pounds, really strong. I think he ran in the 4.3s. I want to say they need offensive help really badly. Cole Kmet didn't really pan out so far, at least so far. I think they have Darnell Mooney, who could end up being a Pro Bowl receiver one day, potentially. They got Allen Robinson, but like I said, I think he's gone after the season. I'm surprised they franchise tagged him this year. I'm surprised he's in Chicago right now, actually. That was first 20 picks. Should I just finish out the rest?
Yeah, just bang it out.
All right. So I have the Colts taking probably the second best athletic freak in the draft, next to Kyle Pitts. I have Jason Owe, who has really upped his draft stock. I had him probably going maybe second round, something like that, out of Penn State. He is a redshirt sophomore, I think, 6'5", 253. He ran a 4.35 or 4.34, something of that sort, which is insane. I think that's more impressive than John Ross's 4.22, easily. Just because of the sheer height and size. He has a really great first step. I think there's a perfect pick for the Colts. I could see them taking other edge rushers like Azeez Ojulari, just because Owe's tape and stats haven't really translated to his game yet, as he's a really raw player. He's probably the rawest player in the draft, as he's got really good athletic skills, just maybe hasn't put them together yet. But I could see the Colts also taking another edge if they don't take away like Azeez Ojulari from Georgia, who is another athletic freak. I could see them taking Jalen Phillips, Gregory Rousseau. I actually have Jalen Phillips over Rousseau, Riley. just because of Rousseau's question mark.
Same here.
Or because he didn't play last year, you could say. But yeah, I have Jason Witten to the Colts. They just lost. I'm pretty sure they just lost Justin Houston, who's getting up there in age. I think he's either off the team now or he retired, possibly. But I think, taking the player with really high upside in the Colts, I think they're in win now mode. I think if a lineman or two falls, like Elijah Vera Tucker or Darisaw per se, I think they do take one of those players. But the Colts can line them up. Pass rushing linebacker. This pick might possibly be the biggest steal in the draft. Looking back in a couple years, potentially, I really do think he's just unbelievable. Like the Julio Jones of just the defensive category. He's just unreal. Stats just off the board. So the Titans, pick 22. I have them taking Rondale Moore. So Rondale Moore, I think it was he's a redshirt sophomore, so it would have been his true freshman year. He had that breakout season, and then Purdue hasn't really been the same. Hasn't really been the same since. But the Titans. Sorry, I'm eating a Reese's. The Titans. Reese's, same deal.
Oh boy, people are gonna hate you for that one.
I'll say Reese's.
Thank you.
I have the Titans taking a receiver, Rondale Moore, Purdue, sophomore, her redshirt sophomore, 5'9", 180. They just lost Corey Davis in free agency to the Jets, I believe. Is that right? Or something like that. I think he's on the Jets now.
Davis.
But Rondale Moore, I'm pretty sure he ran like a high 4.2s, bench like 20 reps. He's just an all-around tank. I mean, he's a bowling ball. He's really strong, really fast, big playmaker, can stretch the field. The Titans need a receiver to replace Corey Davis, obviously. He fits in the Mike Vrabel kind of toughness that he's got going on around his team, and I think he can really dominate and be explosive in the slot with A.J. Brown obviously on the outside, which I do think A.J. Brown is actually better than DK Metcalf. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, DK can't catch.
That's what I'm saying. Well, it's not that he can't catch. He just has a little bit too many drops for me.
Yeah. AJ Brown, do you see him doing that? Not really.
No, he caught like a game winner in the playoffs or something like that, or getting overtime.
Now, but as Tennessee is my third favorite team.
Really?
I do not. Yeah, I do not. I'm not surprised if they take a corner here.
That was my second position of need for them.
Because I cannot, as my third favorite team, the Titans. I cannot name a single corner on that team.
Do they have a Dory Jackson?
I was going to say Ryan, but no. The Dory Jackson, yeah.
They have a Dory Jackson, but Malcolm Butler's gone now, I think. They just lost Malcolm Butler.
Oh, don't they have Janoris Jenkins?
I don't know where he's at. I think he was on the Giants a little. I'm not sure where he is.
Jenkins. Hold on, let me check this.
But speaking about A.J. Brown,
Jenkins.
while you look that up, I think him and DK Metcalf both went to Ole Miss, which is, I hate Ole Miss for one reason, because of Laquan Treadwell. You know.
Nice, yeah.
He's terrible.
True Vikings fan, you know.
Dude, I actually had, because my Madden's 1 year behind, I had Laquan Treadwell's on my team, and he's just got upgraded to the star depth trait. Which is pretty hilarious.
Janoris Jenkins is on the Titans, so I was right. But, bro, he is a fossil. He's 32 years old.
He's old now.
So I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if cornerback is chosen here and Greg.
How old is Eli Apple?
Is his name Greg Newsome? I think.
How old is Eli Apple?
I think he's still pretty young, like 26,
28,
25.
I want to say he's 28.
Not? No, he's not 28. That's for sure.
What is he?
Eli Apple. He's 25 years old.
Really?
Now it seems like Eli Apple has been in the league for 10 years.
Right?
Yeah,
he must have been drafted when he was 20.
He was probably drafted when he was 20 by the Giants, and the Giants. You know, can we talk about him for a second? What their drafting is unbelievably horrible.
The Giants?
Let's just say that. Yeah, they're horrible at drafting. They are.
I mean, they got Saquon.
Eli Apple, top 10.
Oh yeah.
Saquon's their only good pick.
I mean, they kind of missed on
5 years.
Danny Dimes. But in my mock draft, they got Micah Parsons going there. Micah Parsons.
Maybe they'll draft freaking a 6th rounder. You know what I mean? They'll draft a 6th round linebacker. You never know.
Yeah, they could draft.
We talk about how bad the Eagles and Packers.
Oh, Eagles are terrible at drafting. You can't compare them to the Eagles.
Eagles are terrible at drafting. But bro, the Giants are pretty close to them, man. Giants suck. Okay, they have Saquon.
Yeah.
That's their only good pick in like a decade. So, you know.
But if they if the Tennessee Titans take a corner, I could see them taking I haven't watched that much of that Newsome guy corner. Do you know who that is?
He's pretty good. Yeah,
I've heard he's really good. I don't really know a lot about him.
I think he's an athlete, more of a
yeah.
Like how do you say it? He's more of an athlete, just like
he's raw talent.
He's more of an athlete than like, you know, positional.
Yep.
Versatility.
I know exactly what you mean.
I don't know. I'm trying to sound smart.
But I could see them taking maybe Asante Samuel Jr. from Florida State. The Newsome guy I heard is pretty good. I don't know if that Georgia cornerback, I don't really know a lot about him, but Stokes, I'm pretty sure he ran like a 4.25. He seems like an athletic freak. I don't know where he's going to go or if he's even in this class. But I could see them taking a corner wide receiver as I have them taking Rondale Moore, which I think is a great pick. Jets at 23. Jeez, there's motorcycles outside. Nice. Pick number 23. Who's their running back? Frank Gore?
Frank Gore can still he can still do shit.
I think they take a running back. I think they got to.
Or they'll take
corner.
Zaven Collins.
Zaven Collins is really good.
Unless you have him drafted already.
Do you have Zaven Collins above Jamara Osuwu-Koromora, the Notre Dame?
No.
You don't?
No. I don't.
Yeah. Zaven Collins is really good. More traditional linebacker, like Ray Lewis type.
He's very
Koromora is kind of the new school, yeah, I would say. But I'd take the Jets taking Travis Etienne. I think he's the second best running back in the draft. I haven't watched much tape about him, but he is obviously produced in college football. I think he holds the most records for Clemson, and even maybe the NCAA for rushing yards, career, maybe touchdowns. I'm not sure, but he's an overall.
No, but I don't see Travis Etienne going first round. I have him going second round. But here's the thing: I don't see Travis Etienne going to the Packers or Saints or anything like that. So I feel like the Jets would, wait until the second round and then, probably jump on him.
That's the thing.
Like Zaven Collins, they're gonna choose here though.
Mm-hmm. I think that's the thing with running backs in this class. I could easily see Najee Harris and Travis Etienne fall late into the second round or mid-second round, but I could also see that one or two teams could draft. I think only one or two teams could draft a running back in the first round. I think that's the Dolphins, the Jets, and maybe the Steelers.
That's a nail of coffin for me. I just don't see a running back taking first round. I don't. Yep. I don't see one of them.
I think the Jets could wait until their early second round pick.
Is that
like 34?
That's where I have them going.
Yep. But yeah, I think they could either take a corner here. They could
they're 100% taking a defensive player.
I think Jets are in a position where they could really just take the best player on the board. They got Cora Morris still there. Zaven Collins is still here. Azeez Ojulari is here. Rousseau is here. Christian Barmore, Alabama defensive interior, still here. I think they take one of those. Moving on to the Steelers, I have them taking two positions of need, and that's running back or edge rusher. They've just got rid of.
Azeez
yep.
Going here.
Same. That's who I have going. They just lost Bud Dupree, who I don't know where he went. Tennessee?
I don't know either. I don't think. Wait,
I'm not sure.
Tennessee.
Where's that?
Let me look him up.
Is that Matthew Judon though?
Bud Dupree.
He went somewhere. Yeah, where did he go?
Yeah, he is on Tennessee. Okay, I thought he was. So he's at Tennessee.
God, I just lost my whole train of thought. Who's on Tennessee? Oh yeah, Bud Dupree, Steelers. Yep. I have them taking Azeez Ojulari, Georgia. He's a redshirt freshman. He's really young. Pretty sure he's only been in college for 2 years. Here, can you check and see how old he is? I got a feeling he's like 20, or like really young. But he is 6'3", 240. He's an absolute freak. I have him as the second best edge rusher.
Yeah, he's 20 years old.
Top 3 edge rusher. Yeah, he's young. The Steelers basically continue their tradition of finding good linebackers, edge rushers.
They do have T.J. Watt.
They do have T.J. Watt. Pittsburgh has needs on the offensive line, but the opportunity to select basically NFL-ready 3-4 linebacker, especially as Bud Dupree left, is pretty hard to pass up on, I would say. And I really do think, even though they need offensive line, I think running back is a bigger need because, let's be honest, James Conner, I'm pretty sure Mekhi Becton is faster than James Conner. To be honest,
I've seen that fumble.
Have you seen the clip? Yeah.
Steelers, yeah. Oh. And James Conner ran as fast as Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah, he's not fast. He's not a starting running back
anymore.
He had that one good season after Le'Veon Bell decided to produce a rap album, and held out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Azeez Ojulari is a great pick. Pick 25. So Jaguars drafted Trevor Lawrence at 1. Great pick. I think they draft a receiver. They need help. Need to surround Trevor Lawrence with weapons. They do have James Robinson, who, might be faster than James Conner, to be completely honest. He ran like a 4.65 40 or something like that, undrafted. But other than, I think, DJ Chark.
Yep.
From, I don't know where he went to college, but DJ Chark.
Hey, where did Dede go? Is Dede still on the team?
Dede Westbrook? I think he's still on the team. He's okay. I think they need a true deep threat.
Oh, don't they have Shenault too?
Laviska Shenault.
Which I feel like he could be a sleeper. I think he could be really good.
Yeah, I think he's a freak athlete.
Especially Trevor Lawrence.
He could play running back, to be completely honest. He's a bruiser.
Shout out to Laviska.
Yeah, where's he from? Colorado State?
Yeah.
Or something like that? Yeah, he's a beast. I have them taking Kadarius Toney. Either that, they could take the best player on the board. I do think they could use maybe a little help on the defense.
I think they could use defensive linemen.
They could use defensive linemen, or I think they could...
I feel like they could use any position besides quarterback and linebacker.
I do think... Yeah, I do think they could potentially take Trevor Moehrig from TCU. He's the best safety in the draft by far. It's not even questionable. I have him as a top 20 prospect, but since not too many teams are going to take safety in the first round in general out of any NFL draft, unless it's like a generational safety. But I think Maury, top 20 prospect in my opinion. I think he could definitely go to the Jaguars. But I think Kadarius Toney, he's really, really fast. I think immediately adds to the special teams, kick return, punt return gang. I think it's a great fit. 6 foot, 193, uber talented for Urban Meyer. So.
Yeah, they got. Oh, yeah, I forgot.
This is where it gets interesting. So, who would you have the Browns taking?
Man, I don't know what they need. Wide receiver, good. Offensive lineman, I feel like they're really good. Quarterback, good.
Offensive lineman, running back, good.
Running back is probably the best duo I've ever seen. Ever.
Yep.
Well, not ever, but
wide receiver.
Best right now, probably.
Yeah. I mean, they got Donovan Peoples-Jones, number 1 receiver. No, I'm kidding. They got Odell Beckham, Jarvis Landry, Rashad Higgins, I think. Peoples-Jones. I think they're good on offense. Defensively, they have stud corner, Ward. Oh, wow.
I just know that their defense is alright. I don't know if I can name
their defensive line is good. I do think they take Jalen Phillips. I do think they take another defensive lineman.
Jalen Phillips.
I think he's probably got the best first step next to Jason Oweh in the whole draft. Next to Myles Garrett and Sheldon Richardson. I think he has a lot of versatility that they can run for that interior and edge that can benefit the Browns a lot. With Myles Garrett getting all the attention, I really do think Jalen Phillips, who could definitely be a number 1 edge rusher on a team a few years down the line, I could definitely see that. I think he can tear up the opposite side. I think he ran like a 4.55, really good first step, as I said. I think comparing him to Gregory Rousseau, I think Gregory Rousseau has a higher ceiling than almost any edge rusher in the draft next to Jason Oweh. I don't think he's the safest pick though. I think
no, he's not.
Out of the Miami edge rushers, I'm taking Jalen Phillips. If I know I'm getting a day 1 starter, it's not all raw talent. But I do think Gregory Rousseau is still a monster. He's like, at least 6'6", 270, just freak athlete. Unreal.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, he's unreal. Ravens, they are taking a receiver. It doesn't matter how many receivers go off the board. They are taking a receiver. They almost had T.Y. Hilton in free agency. They almost had Juju Smith-Schuster. I think Juju Smith-Schuster actually turned down the Ravens' best offer. It was his best offer to stay with Pittsburgh. They need to give Lamar Jackson some offensive weapons. And I think depending on who's on the board, I have them taking Elijah Moore out of the other people who have been drafted already. Ole Miss. The top 6 receivers are off the board for the Ravens. But I don't think this is a reach with Elijah Moore from Ole Miss. They need to improve wideout. They have Marquise Brown, who, that's all I gotta really say. He's okay. Elijah Moore, 5'9", 185. He's really fast. Pretty sure he ran in 4.2 something. He has really big play potential, which is what the Ravens need. Since they are a power run football. They love to run the football, and if they can open up those deep shots with Lamar, with other receivers.
Or if they can try to throw with Lamar.
Yeah, I was actually gonna say something like that, but yeah.
I don't care.
But I think taking a receiver is a must. It doesn't matter how many receivers are off the board. They they got to get Lamar Jackson some weapons, and I think he could definitely be a security blanket in the slot for years to come. Saints. I don't like the Saints.
I don't
just
either.
Because I have them taking Gregory Rousseau, redshirt sophomore, 6'7", 265. New Orleans replaces Trey Hendrickson on the edge with Rousseau, I think, and it will help take the pressure off Cameron Jordan. Saints, I don't really think they need an offensive help. They lost a lot of people in free agency because of cap, because their cap guy is dumb with money, essentially. Yeah, they offered Taysom Hill like 4 voidable years for like 100.
Yeah, Taysom
million.
Like, bro, man, yeah. If I could get paid that much to on the bench, dude,
yeah.
I'm in.
The Saints,
some special teams.
Exactly. I think Gregory Rousseau basically taking the player with the highest ceiling. I think the Saints could still be in win now mode. Potentially.
Yeah.
Depending
James
on
Winston
if Winston. But Jameis Winston just got eye surgery over the season, and he might be throwing better. You know, he got LASIK. Maybe that's why he threw 30
got
picks.
Touchdown pass in playoffs. Hey.
There we go.
No? That was a dot too, by the way.
That was really good, yeah. Yeah, I think it's a safe pick. Not really a safe pick, but just taking the best player.
Or they could take linebacker as well.
You see, this is where I think they could also take Zaven Collins. I think is a great pick for them.
Yeah. I just don't. Again, I don't think Rousseau is gonna drop this far. He probably should, but I don't think he is.
I actually do.
Just because of how athletic he is.
I'm gonna be honest. I think there's a better chance he falls past the top 20 than he stays in the top 15. To be honest, I think there's a 70% chance he falls out into the top 20 or out of the top 20.
I don't think so. I don't
really?
know. I think some team will bite the bait. Yeah, for sure. 100%.
I have a feeling the Giants are going to bite the bait and take him at 11.
I feel like they will too. You know, that's the Giants thing to do.
It is. So, Packers.
It worked once, though. Packers. Anyone on defense. Best player on defense, probably.
They need someone to help with the run defense. I'm pretty sure they let up like 200 yards rushing against one of the teams in the playoffs. They need help front seven. They just need help front seven. They got, who is it? Kenny Clark? And that's about it.
Yeah, that bum.
Their defensive tackle, and that's about it.
He's not a bum, but...
I have them taking either Christian Barmore, who I think he's top 25 prospect, defensive interior, or I have them taking Koromoa, Jeremiah from Notre Dame, 6'1", 215, newer version linebacker. I could even see him playing safety. Really good tackler in open space. Specifically in the pass rush, Green Bay needs a lot of help on defense. I think this is the move. Yeah, I think.
I hope Green Bay takes Ian Book though.
Even though Aaron Rodgers doesn't take a receiver here, or not Aaron Rodgers, the Packers. Well, it basically is Rodgers' team. I mean,
yeah. I don't think he's sitting there drafting. No.
Yeah, but I don't think. I mean, they haven't taken a first-round receiver in like 15 years. I don't think they take one this year. Because they get Funchess back.
And I think Aaron Rodgers makes any receiver just look like
just
the best receiver
phenomenal.
out there.
I mean, look at Valdez Scantling, for example.
Envies,
I mean, that guy was.
I love Envies. I watch your Twitch stream sometimes, but bro,
you won't be anything without Aaron Rodgers.
You look hell of a lot better with Rodgers.
Yeah.
And honestly, that's not like very much of a It's not very much of an insult because Aaron Rodgers, man.
Yeah.
I don't think Devontae Smith will be that good.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers, or without Aaron Rodgers, sorry. But yeah. They could take a. I feel like if they are going offense for some reason, I feel like they take a tackle maybe, or something like that.
That's what I'm saying.
There's no way they're going offense.
Or an interior lineman because they just lost. They lost one of their key linemen. I think Lindsley.
Yeah.
Maybe. Something like that. But yeah, I could definitely see them doing something like that. So,
but I don't think that's gonna happen.
I don't think it's gonna happen either.
Bills.
The Bills.
Bills.
See, here's the thing with the Bills. They don't really need anything, to be honest. They're pretty well balanced on both sides. I could see them. Oh, my computer's low. Here, I'm gonna grab my charger. Talk about who you think the Bills are gonna pick.
Man, Bills. Fuck. I see the Bills taking a defensive player here. Now, they could go edge. They could go linebacker. I don't see him taking a corner. I don't see him taking a safety. I can see them going edge. Man, I don't know what edge.
Running back.
Do you have Kwity Paye going anywhere?
Kwity Paye's long gone.
He's long gone. Okay.
Yeah, I think.
I feel like
I had him going
somehow.
to. I had Kwity Paye going to the Patriots at 15. I think they definitely take defense. They have to.
I think they'll take an edge or a linebacker.
I think
they're not taking corner. They're not taking safety.
If Zaven Collins is there, I think they take him. I think Nick Bolton, other linebacker from Missouri, is a good option here. I think they definitely go defense. Even Jason Asai or Joseph Asai from Texas, he's another physical freak from the Big 12 edge rusher. I think Jabril Cox from LSU, redshirt senior, 6'3", 333. I think they definitely take someone on the D-line or linebacker. Ed Oliver on the D-line isn't getting any younger. I think if Zaven Collins is there, I do think they definitely take him, put him next to Terrell Edmonds. Or is that the corner? Tremaine Edmonds, the linebacker, pretty sure.
I think it's Tremaine.
Yeah, I think that pairing is really nice. Yeah, I definitely think that is what they do there. They definitely go front seven.
Yeah, that's the best pick. Probably an edge.
So,
or a linebacker.
The Chiefs. Hear me out. So.
A lineman.
Yep, they do. or they could go.
I don't see any. No, they're not going receiver. Dude,
no, get in. They go lineman.
Okay,
no.
I was gonna say.
So they sign. So. They're two.
Who did they sign again?
They're two guards. Kalichi Olmasechi, that used to play on the Oakland Raiders, comes back. Their Canadian guard, who is really good, who actually is a doctor in Canada, who went helped with the pandemic up there, he comes back. Their two guards are set, or their center and their guard are set in stone. So they signed Joe Thuney, other guard is set in stone for the season. They signed Chris Long, right tackle or left tackle. So I think they need one offensive lineman. I think, let's see.
If Vera Tucker goes down.
Oh, Tucker's gone. Long gone.
Yeah, if he doesn't get picked though. No, I see him picking him.
I see Tevin Jenkins from Oklahoma State being a great fit. 6'6", 320. I think that's a great pick for tackle.
Oh, they got Yasir Durant too. No, don't you forget about him.
Don't you forget about him. I think Jalen. Shout out. Jalen Mayfield, offensive tackle, Michigan redshirt sophomore from the Big Ten. I think that's a great pick too. They could go Dylan Radins, NDSU, was Trey Lance's left tackle. I think that's a great pick. I do think they take a tackle though. Liam Eichenberg, Notre Dame. Anywhere on the line, I don't think they can go wrong.
Yeah.
I could also see them taking an edge though. If some of these edge, like if Jason Owe or let's say Rousseau's still there, I think they do take an edge. Frank Clark's contract is probably the worst thing I've ever seen in my whole life.
It's good. It's good.
It's pretty up there.
Really good.
So yeah.
I don't see.
I think they take tackle.
Lineman.
I appreciate
they pick the best offensive lineman available. All right, next.
I think Chris Long could actually be a Pro Bowler this year if he stays healthy, because he is like really good. He's only 1 year into retirement and he came back. But the Bucks. See, the Bucks don't need anyone.
Now the Bucks
let's be completely honest.
all of their starters.
Let's go through it.
Every single one of them back.
Don't need a cornerback. Don't need a running back. Don't need a receiver. Don't need tight end. Don't really need offensive line. Defensive line, they don't need. Although they could potentially take an edge rusher for the future, because they are going to start after paying some of their people
I feel like
and
they
leave.
could take a defensive tackle here. I feel like they'd take a big man in there.
I'm going to be completely honest. I think they could take a corner, I think they could take a safety. I think they could take a safety next to Winfield from Minnesota, who had a great year. Shout out, Gophers. I think they could take a safety or an edge, to be honest.
I feel like they take a DT.
You thinking
someone in there?
If Christian Barmore is still there, I think that's definitely the play.
Barmore, for sure.
I think they could take an edge. Who's the second best interior D-line? Let's see. Who do I have on my list here? Onwuzurike from Washington, I'd say probably is the second best interior line in the draft. Maybe even number one, depending on who you ask. But I think Christian Barmore, Alabama, or Joe Tryon from Washington is also great. Onwuzurike and Tryon both went to Washington. I think those are great picks. But the thing with the Bucks is they don't need anyone.
They can take a quarterback here if they want to,
Or they could take
Brady might take Brady might play for 5 more years.
No.
But Tampa Bay could pick Ian Book, and then he could become the next Tom Brady.
I'm going to be honest. I don't think Ian Book gets drafted.
I don't think he gets drafted either. I don't think he does either. So shout out to Ian Book. But
shout out Ian Book, but I don't know if he gets drafted.
He's not getting drafted.
But yeah, I don't think the Bucks really need anyone.
But they could pull Patriots the Bucks. Tom Brady, Ian Book could be the next Tom Brady. We don't know.
They could pull the Green Bay Packers and draft Jordan Love right next to Aaron Rodgers. They could draft Kellen Mond.
That's true. Kellen Mond, hey.
Nah, he's probably going 3rd, 4th round. But I think they go edge. Or maybe lineman, interior offensive lineman. They could take a chance on Wyatt Davis or Landon Dickerson. Honestly, Landon Dickerson, he's probably top 15 prospect, but he does have an injury.
The Bucks O-line is so good, though.
Yeah, they got Wirfs.
Like, Tristan Wirfs is... Yeah. Shout out Tristan Wirfs. Bro, Tristan Wirfs is... Rookie year, he played like an all-pro.
Yeah. I think it's like second best...
sack, maybe?
Second best PPF, or PFF.
He's a big dude as well. Even though he got tossed by, what's his name?
Who?
God,
who'd he get tossed by?
There's this one clip where Tristan Wirfs got absolutely, he got tossed, across the field.
I don't think he let up a sack all season, and he only had 1 penalty all year, which is... I should have made Pro Bowl, to be completely honest.
Yeah. I don't know how he didn't make the Pro Bowl. That doesn't make any sense.
But, yeah, that was our kind of mock draft.
Khalil Mack tossed Tristan Wirfs.
Oh yeah, that's Khalil Mack though. Did you see there was a punter?
It was after the play, so.
There was a punter that ran a faster 40 than Jarvis Landry and benched the same amount of reps as Khalil Mack. It's like O'Donnell for the punter for the Bears or something like that. It's unreal.
There we go. Punters built different.
Vikings should draft him. Should have drafted him. Get rid of Dan Bailey. Put him at kicker.
Oh God, dude!
Who's the Vikings kicker now?
I don't fucking. I feel like is Dan Bailey still there?
No, I think he's long gone. But
Really?
I think so, right?
Dan Bailey. Vikings.
Here.
Did he come from the Cowboys?
Yeah.
He's still on the Vikings.
Oh my God.
He's still on there.
Get him out.
I don't know what we're doing. We need to get him out, but
we need to get him out. So
we could draft a kicker 7th round, probably.
7th round, yeah. Or we could draft Spielman's 7th round linebacker like he does every single year for the past like 20 years.
Yeah, true.
Okay, I'm gonna come up.
Maybe we'll draft a kicker 6th round.
Before I end this podcast, I'm gonna come up with a scenario that would be the best fit for the Vikings to get like the best player available.
Oh, in case you guys can tell, we are Vikings fans.
Yeah,
I feel like
from Minnesota. Yep, Minnesota NFC North. Everyone can suck it, except for the Vikings.
Except for the Lions.
Except for the Lions. The Lions are already sucking it. They're terrible.
Keep being you, Lions. Keep being you. We love you. Shout out to Ninja.
Shout out Ninja.
I don't know why. Just like
no, but I really do think the Lions could be the first team to go 0-17 this season. I mean, because they're 17-game season, right? They will.
But Texans are going 0-17.
I think Texans, if Deshaun Watson holds out, I really do think Texans got a legit shot at making history right now, and it's good for the city, you know.
As being the fucking worst ever team ever.
Yeah.
The worst franchise in the history of franchises.
Okay, I think...
Like, even the Timberwolves are not as bad. And we're shit. We're bad.
Okay, question for you. Would you...
Answer for you.
Would you oppose the Vikings trading up to, like, pick number... Like, within the top 10, if Penei Sewell falls to, like, number 8 or 9? Would you be opposed to that?
I would not be opposed to it. Anything to,
See, here's the thing. I don't think Penei Sewell gets past 5, and at most like, number 6.
Yeah, I don't feel like he gets past the good old not Browns. What's the other team? Bengals at Orange. Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest.
Even though
if the Bengals didn't start winning at the end of the season. You think Slater's better than Penei Sewell?
I think Slater's better than Penei Sewell.
Really?
Very, very like out there. I know, but hear me out.
Well, actually, it's not really out there because Daniel Jeremiah thinks the same thing, and he's been scouting since like he came out the womb. So.
Yeah, facts. But I feel like Rashawn Slater's better.
Why? I know Penei Sewell's like raw talent. He's really raw. He's just a straight up animal.
Yeah, I feel like Rashawn Slater is just better technically.
Rashawn Slater, see, I think I know why. Because Rashawn Slater can play literally every position on the line. It don't matter.
He's very versatile.
Yep. God, Penei Sewell, 6'6", 340. Just put him at center. I mean,
yeah,
left tackle. He's a beast. Honestly, realistically though, if the Vikings can draft like Kyle Pitts at 14.
If we could draft Rashawn Slater, if the Chargers
if Slater,
they're not going to, but if they do somehow, some way.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie, draft night's crazy. I could see the Chargers doing something crazy like drafting an edge, to be honest, because Melvin Ingram's gone.
Chargers, head coach, I forgot what your name is.
They got a new head coach. I don't know what his name is.
Listen,
it's not
if you're
Anthony
watching
anymore.
Everything Football podcast here on YouTube, can you trade your pick?
Yeah, have the Patriots.
Trade your pick. Trade for an offensive lineman. Okay.
Here's the best thing ever. Have Justin Fields fall to pick 13. Have the Patriots trade up to 13 because they ain't taking a lineman, and then have the Chargers go to 15. We take Slater. They can take Darisaw. Perfect. We get our tackle of the future. We have another top 3 offensive year with Jefferson, Cook, Thielen, and everyone else.
And boom, you got a playoff team.
And boom.
As long as our entire defense doesn't get injured.
No, we literally are adding 3 like potential Pro Bowl defensive linemen because one holdout, one got injured, and we just got another. So
yeah, like I'm not kidding. I think everyone's seen this, but
and I think later rounds,
every single starter on the Vikings defense was injured besides Anthony Harris. I think I don't know. He might have.
We had I'll go through it. So Michael Pierce didn't play because he didn't want to get COVID or something like that. Danielle Hunter, Anthony Barr.
Yeah, Eric Kendricks.
For a little bit,
yeah.
And then we had a lot of young people. I like Dantzler.
Troy Dye out there.
I like Dantzler, though.
I do like Dantzler. I like him more than Gladney.
I think Gladney's a great slot corner, though. I really do think he could be our nickel guy.
Mike Hughes is Mike Hughes.
Yeah, Mike Hughes.
Yeah,
the Browns is the Browns. You know, Mike Hughes is Mike Hughes.
Yeah, facts.
All right, but that's gonna. Go ahead.
No. I was just saying. Oh yeah. Just Vikings, just terrible luck on defense.
Yeah,
that's why we let Kamara scored 6 touchdowns because our entire defense was injured.
Yeah,
we had the practice squad out there.
And I'm dead serious though. We did. Like those guys shouldn't have been playing. Well, because everyone was injured.
I'm not kidding. Every single starter.
But I'm not gonna lie. We have the best defensive line coach in the league, in Patterson. He's gonna develop every one of those guys into Khalil Mack type players.
Yeah, facts.
So, especially DJ Wonnum, he's a beast.
Facts.
But having said that, I think a win in the first round is if we get Slater. I think that's a win.
Yeah, I feel like I could go to sleep nights.
Yeah.
Like when I saw we drafted Justice Jefferson, I was like, all right, I'm sleeping good tonight.
Dude, I was so happy.
I feel like if we get Slater, I think I would sleep even better.
I'm not going to lie. I won't be mad if we get Darrisaw, too. Because a lot of people think Darrisaw is better than Slater.
He's definitely not, but I wouldn't be mad at it either.
Yeah.
Just anything besides freaking Dakota Dozier starting. Okay?
Yeah, if we get...
which doesn't take much.
Even if we get Elijah Vera Tucker, who's the best the best interior offensive lineman, in my opinion, because Slater's going to be a tackle.
Just we need to replace that Dakota Dozier.
Riley Reef's gone. Dozier, get him out.
Just his head's gone.
Get him out. We don't need him.
Dakota Dozier, if you're watching this,
I'd rather play that Udo guy.
Turn it off.
I'd rather play the Udo guy. Yep.
Yeah.
But having said that,
I'd rather play Danielle Hunter in there.
But having said that does it for it's a little mock draft. We did. But I think Vikings definitely take I think we definitely trade up number 1 to get Trevor Lawrence. But if that doesn't happen, which, might not happen. It might not happen. So it might not happen. Then I think we take offensive line.
Bro, even if the chances are, I still hope we don't do that.
Yeah.
Because Kirk isn't the problem. It's our freaking O-line.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think that does it. If you guys liked it, make sure
to the like button. Smash
potentially hit the like button.
You got 5 seconds.
You got 5 seconds. No,
5 seconds to like.
But yeah, if you guys wanna, I'll be streaming these with different people, often probably. So yeah, if you guys just want to come in and hang out, talk football, it's a good time. Maybe put some questions that we can discuss would be cool. But other than that, Justin Jefferson's going to be the offensive player of the year next year. And that's all I got to say. See you for podcast number 3 coming soon.